Hey everyone, today I wanted to review the 2018 horror movie The Void. So this is going to be kind of a short review since there's a lot of this movie that I want to keep kind of either ambiguous or just not tell you too much because I think this movie is pretty underrated, and if you go into it knowing as little as possible, I think it'll, make the movie a lot better. So what this movie is about is a police officer named Carter who picks up this guy who just kind of stumbles out of the woods and he's covered in blood and he seems disoriented or maybe has a head injury or is drunk or something. And so he takes him to a nearby hospital where his wife works, and when he takes him in, they go and check him out. And you get to learn very briefly, actually. There's a set of characters, and you know them all. In about 10 minutes, you've got the movie going. And it starts with a pretty interesting opening scene. And once you get to know the character Carter, you get to know his wife, you get to know the doctors and the nurses, and there's two patients that are there, or one patient and the grandfather. And so yeah, you quickly learn in about 10-15 minutes everything you need to know about these people, or at least the basics, and then you get into the horror part of the movie, and I really like that. So one of the best parts also is, at least my favorite part of this movie, is all of the, I guess, gore and the horror aspects of this movie is all real. Like, nothing is CGI really, maybe other than one or two few moments. It's all real makeup and like costumes, and I think that they did a really good job with that. And if you've ever seen the horror movie The Thing, it's very reminiscent of that, and I think that kind of inspires this in a lot of ways because it has a similar feel where people are trapped in this area and they can't really escape, and they kind of have to figure out what's going on. And so they get trapped in there because there's this cult that worships this void, and there's like 20 of them at least just surrounding the hospital, and they've all got knives, and there's really not much they can do to escape since they're outnumbered. And even though the cop has a gun, you find out early on something happens where he loses his gun, and so he has to go outside to get his shotgun if he wants a weapon. And so yeah, I think this is a pretty underrated horror movie. If you're a fan of the movie The Thing, like I said, I'm trying to think of any other movies that are kind of like that. The Mist maybe, but that's all kind of CGI, I'm pretty sure. But I think this is some of the best makeup I've seen, or just costume work I've seen in a horror movie, and that's its strong suit. Now, it's not perfect because I think that where it's a little bit weak is its story's a little hard to follow. You get where it's like going, it's just the details of it. You're not sure really every little detail. But honestly, it didn't really bother me that I couldn't fully understand everything. The first time, at least, I watched it, I thought it was just really good to see. The gore is really great. Just like when someone gets shot or someone gets stabbed, there's a realistic amount of blood. There's, everything is pretty realistic, and I really kind of thought this is where that movie like shines. So yeah, I mean, the story, like I said, isn't great. If you can get past that and just enjoy the horror and just the action that is in this movie, I think you'd really appreciate it. It feels very much like an 80s horror movie, so if you're into that, this is definitely a movie you should check out. So let me know if you have seen this movie. Let me know, if you're interested in it, and leave a comment. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.